Good afternoon and welcome to this new bulletin here in that channel. These are the headlines. Controllers warn Colombia not ready for fracking. President Trump says he will delay closing the border with Mexico for a year. Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 737 pilots could not stop nose divide. Stay with us and know what is happening around the world. The move. Controller warns Colombia not ready for fracking. Colombia is not prepared to begin fracking that should at least temporarily ban controversial activity, the country's Controller General said in a report on Thursday. According to the Controller report, the state is unprepared to avoid the potential environmental consequence of fracking. Surface and underground water reservoirs can become contaminated and increase the risk of earthquakes, and spillage a harsh substance used for hydraulic fracking all needs tight regulations and strong institutions to enforce them, the report said. The report contradicts the finding on a panel of experts convened by the government earlier this year and advised the government to move forward. The Alliance for a Fracking-Free Colombian City said the panel for not being comprised of independent experts and instead of being full of industry professionals. The panel already investigated fracking for 3 months and held only 3 meetings with regional communities. Controller General Office compared to other fracking sites in the United States, Argentina, Canada, China, and the Controller General's office determined that Colombia needs to take extra precautions because of the unique geography and environment of the country in order to protect ecosystems and the health of citizens. The report will be presented to the Congress. Ethiopian Airlines plane that crashed last month nosedive several times before it hit the ground, a preliminary report has said. Pilots repeatedly followed the procedures recommended by Boeing before the crash, according to the first official report into the disaster. Despite this force, pilots were not able to control the aircraft, Transport Minister Moss said. Flight ET-302 crashed after takeoff from Addis Ababa, killing 157 people. It was the second crash of a Boeing 737 MAX aircraft in 5 months. Last October, Lion Air flight JT-617 crashed into the sea near Indonesia, killing all 189 people on board. In a news conference in Addis Ababa, Mrs. Dadway said, the crew performs all the procedures repeatedly, providing the manufacturer but were not able to control the aircraft. Her comments were based on a preliminary report into the crash, which has not been published yet, but could be released by the end of the week. The 737 MAX family of aircraft was grounded following the Ethiopian Airlines crash, a move affecting more than 300 planes. The preliminary report did not attribute blame for the crash, but it said that the crew were fully qualified to conduct the flight and that they performed all the expected procedures correctly. The software reacts when sensor in the nose of the aircraft show the jet is climbing up too steep an angle, which can cause of the plane to stall. The report does not mention the MCAS by name, but it doesn't detail during the minutes after takeoff the problems the pilots were having in trying to control the aircraft angle of flight. At what point, the captain called out 3 times, "Hold up!" and second after instructed to the first officer to tell air traffic control that they have a flight control problem. In a statement on Thursday, the chief executive of Ethiopian Airlines, CEO Gavin Mariam, said he was very proud of the pilots' high level of professional performance. It was very unfortunate they could not recover the airplane from the persistence of nose diving, the airline said in a statement. President Donald Trump said Thursday he will delay closing the border with Mexico for a year. backtracking of this threat to seal off the southern border as early as this week. Trump said at the White House that they will give Mexico a year to halt the flow of illegal drugs coming into the USA. If the drugs don't stop, he said the United States will impose tariffs of Mexican autos. If that doesn't work, Trump said, then the United States will close the USA-Mexican border. That would be a very powerful incentive, he said. Trump insisted he wasn't bluffing. I will do it, he said. I don't play games. Trump's remarks are the latest signal that the administration is toning down its rhetoric after days of recently attacking Mexico over illegal border crossing. During a trip to Florida last Friday, Trump warned there is a very good likelihood that he will close the border this week if Mexico didn't do more to stem the influx of immigrant families arriving from Central America. By Tuesday, he softened this position, saying closing the border is still an option, but he had seen signs that Mexico had started apprehending more people. At a news conference in Washington, Mexican ambassador to the United States, Marta Bárcena, said her country would continue to cooperate with the Trump administration to address the root causes of migration. Migration will never be stopped, she said at the Embassy of Mexico. It is intrinsic to the humanity. But what we can do is to do it in a regular way, in an orderly way to protect the human rights. Trump's threat to close the border prompted objection from border state Republicans and business groups such as the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which argued the move would damage the nation's economy. In a statement Thursday, the chamber welcomed Trump's decision to keep the border open. Let's see what happens in this news. That has been everything for today. We wait for you on the next time. Have a nice afternoon and excellent weekend. Bye bye.